Welcome to Opinions in 10, online posts and biblical opinions in under 10 minutes. Starting now. Today's comment comes from Punk Rocks. Every time I show my boyfriend something I like, he tells me why I shouldn't like it. We've been together for 15 years and together for 1, but every time I show him a movie, he sighs and tells me why I shouldn't like it. Then he asked me where my dream vacation would take place. I said, Hawaii. And now he's constantly sending me videos about why you shouldn't go there. When asked what my favorite breakfast food is, which is pancakes, I had to listen to why I was an idiot for preferring them to waffles. We watched a movie last night where a woman is murdered, and he told me how much he hates women getting murdered in movies, despite the fact that the previous night we watched a movie where 3 women are murdered that he picked out. Is there a technique for letting this go? It feels like he finds fault with everything I tried to show him. Okay, for today's opinion, I'm going to start off by asking a simple question. You said that you had been friends with this guy for 15 years before you started dating. Was he like this before? Was he one-upping everything or acting like you or other people were less than him because they don't do what he does? A follow-up question. Would you have agreed to enter into a romantic relationship with him had he been like this? No, the behavior didn't arise from nothing, nor did it come out of nowhere. It's obviously part of him, and for some reason it is related to dating. I can't give you an exact reason he's doing this. There's no playbook that I or anyone else has in our possession that would allow us to enter the specifics of his behavior into it and get an accurate result with which to give some sort of advice. But I think that taking a rational look at it will yield a surprising result. In the West, over the last many years, there have been certain things happening which have attempted to overturn the entire system upon which our society was built. One part of this system, baked into the very foundations of who we are, is an institution called marriage. You may have heard of it. It's the act of a man and a woman making a vow to God and to each other to be faithful and true to each other to the exclusion of any other potential romantic partners who may come along in the future. And just like with anything else, there were people from time to time who didn't grasp the depth of meaning and responsibility which came with marriage. In fact, some may have gotten married and then shortly afterwards confided in their friends that their spouse was no longer the person whom they had married. I mean, while they were dating, they were so nice and sweet. But shortly after marriage, they were a different person. This complaint was not unwarranted in many cases. This was partially due to the fact that you are now seeing this person every day, and the sides of ourselves that we hide from others are now on display. We get irritable at times. We feel tired or sad or angry. We have quirks or idiosyncrasies that are probably not fully understood by the other person. These are the things that life is made of. We learn to accept these things in our spouse and adjust. But the other reason that this complaint may be made is not quite as simple and everyday as the one just mentioned. You see, a person sometimes would enter into a romantic relationship with the goal of a wedding. But to them, that was it. That was the goal. Story is over. You've crossed the finish line. Nothing has been conceptualized past this point. It's like when you read Lord of the Rings and realize that the story is over, but there are still 80 pages left in the book. So since this person has achieved what they were wanting from dating, they no longer felt the need to pursue a spouse. They already have one. Why continue treating this person with kindness and love? They already did that, and they crossed the finish line. But now that marriage is considered a thing of the past to so many people, that line has been moved. Now the goalpost seems to be dating with no thought of marriage. So when a man and a woman are friends, they behave well. And when a relationship is entered, well, that's the end goal. This is how many people think. Not everybody, but many. From reading your post, it sounds like this is what's going on with your boyfriend. But let me ask you, what is the purpose of devaluing what another person likes? Why can't he just state that he has a different like or a different opinion? Why does he need to go out of his way to devalue what you like? This is something I've seen many times, unfortunately. The purpose of doing this is pride. He puts you down simply because that gives him the feeling of superiority that humans crave. That is the only conceivable reason for this kind of behavior in people. Obviously, it's not making the relationship any better. He's not adding anything of value to this. In fact, he's causing you to feel devalued and belittled. The core value that all relationships must be built upon is that of safety and vulnerability. If you don't feel safe letting your guard down with someone and being vulnerable, then you don't have a friend, let alone a boyfriend. Solomon says concerning this in Proverbs 29:8, "Scornful men bring a city into a snare, but wise men turn away wrath." In other words, these sorts of people cause only contention and quarreling. They use another person's vulnerability as a bludgeon. They don't bring peace to a home. You need someone with whom you are 100% certain that you can be vulnerable with, and he won't hurt you. If you can't share what you like, what your dreams are, and so on, how can you possibly trust him with what's really in your heart? And it may be the case that he has no idea how to behave in a relationship. He may have learned this behavior from whoever his example was. It doesn't matter. No matter where it came from, it's toxic. So I can't give you a secret handshake to make it go away. I can tell you that you can't change another person. You can only make decisions for you, and it looks like you have one to make here. You can stay with him and talk to him about these things, or you can leave. But the choice has to be yours to make. Nobody else can make it for you. And that'll do it for today. God bless.